All right. Welcome to Mindful Monday for people who are here for Mindful Monday. And thank you for the applause. Well, if you're not, I guess you might be mindful by the time you leave with the coherent effect. So what are we doing today? What do I need to go over? So my name is Chris. This is the 40th Mindful Monday, roughly. There might have been one or two more, but I only did so much counting and then I gave up. So it's about the 40th. And I was tuning in. It was about time to have more psychic fun again. And I think we started having psychic fun last week or the week before. And telepathy has been something that I've played with in the past. I think it'll be fun for us to play with tonight. And that's really just receiving information and being able to send information. How do we pick it up from somebody else? And so we'll do a few different exercises that I've gotten to experiment with other people in small groups, and it's fun that we have a lot more people to really practice on. And then as I was tuning into this, there were a few other exercises that relate it. They aren't perfectly telepathic, but they really help kind of enhance that muscle. So we're going to be playing with those tonight, and we'll go through it. It'll all make sense. So the goal of tonight is really, community comes first, in my opinion. When I had my awakening, it was exciting, but even learning about things like telepathy was exciting, but I didn't have people to get to experiment on, get to play with, get to try things, and I always wanted some sort of thing like this to happen where we all got to gather, we would meditate together, and more importantly, we would exchange ideas and get to experiment, see what worked for us, also see what will work for other people, because what I'm going to share tonight might be useful for you. There might be somebody else who's telepathic in their own way that has a different way of tuning in that might even be more helpful. So, I'm just one of many people that gets to share in these groups, but I have a lot of fun when we do. So, okay, a few announcements, and then we'll get right into people getting to connect and meet each other. I was going to do a small shift on how we typically do things. So this is being filmed. Some of it's going to go on. The whole thing will go on YouTube. People have asked in the past, so now we're just doing it. There's another podcast, because some people were asking me to know more about my story, or there's other people that come up and they want to know more about what they do. So I did create a second podcast called Mystics Among Us. That's much more of a we're gonna go deep on topics, and I'm gonna geek out with healers and things like that. But you get to receive and learn, but it's a non-participatory way. So I want these to be about let's geek out with each other and let's have some fun. But there is a separate podcast. So if you are a mystic in some way, happy to talk about maybe us doing that together at some point. What else do we got going on? There is a community healing fair. Right. So there's a fair I certainly should have done a lot more marketing for. It's in 2.5 weeks. It's going to be super awesome. It's called Seeker's Paradise, and it's a ticketed event that's really community centric. It's a community centric metaphysical fair. So all the healers that are going to show up are going to give mini versions of what they do, but meaningful sessions that are all included with the ticket. And that way you actually can get a sense of what different modalities are without having to pay what sometimes seems like a pretty high ticket, a high cost to just see, do you actually like receiving a Reiki session or a tuning session or whatever it might be. So anyhow, that's happening, and some more emails and a pretty unique skit are going to be coming out on that pretty soon. If you've seen the aliens, they will return in the skit that will be online. And okay, I think we're done with announcements. Was there one more thing I was supposed to say? No, I think we're going to start. Okay. Oh, and you all probably have this in front of you, a version of this. My eyes have gotten absolutely fried from the computer screen, so I had to go old school and write out the stuff that we're going to do tonight. And thank you for bearing with us there. So yes, Milo.
Now, Seeker's Paradise, is that Gangster's Paradise or Seeker?
It's exactly like Gangster's Paradise for Seekers. I don't know why the word paradise came in as I was tuning into what it would be, but that was the word. So I just said, let's do it. That's what we're going to do. And it's going to be really awesome. There will be kind of the same meditation. There's going to be workshops and things like that too. But then there's going to be the healing element from different healers who are highly skilled in their trade. Yeah, that's good. Oh, and then one other person brought up, they're like, can we do some sort of membership thing rather than I have to pay for a ticket every single time? Maybe there's always going to be the option for tickets, but there is something that's kind of on my mind of a different way if people want to either go deeper or just not have to feel like they have to pull out their wallet every single time to get a ticket. I've got some ideas on that. So, like, I believe the way you're supposed to do things is have one thing people are focused on at a given time. I just told you like 4 or 5, and that's just how it's going to go. So, okay, now we're going to go into the actual event. And we always start with people getting to connect and getting to know each other a little bit more. And how many people have done a hello rose before? It's something I learned in my psychic school. Milo has. Holly has. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of new people. Sweet. So in my psychic school, we had a fun way, and this is sort of like a bridge point to the telepathy side of how you can connect with somebody with on the etheric side before we get into, what's that? You see the roses? Okay, sweet, thank you. Does anyone want to be a demo? Can you be a demo subject?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so all we do, and thank you for braving standing up on your bad. He has a bad
healing.
knee.
Healing.
He has a healing knee, right? I need to watch my words.
team.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So he has a knee that is healed. There we go, fully healed.
Whoa!
Right? Yeah.
Still, yeah.
Certainly by the end of the night.
I love you too.
So in the in my school, when we wanted to say hello to somebody, I'm going to see if I can break one off, but we may not be able to. I know it's wire, but I've done it before, so. Okay, I can't do it right now. So what we would do is we imagine a rose, and then we just imagine like a psychic hand handing the rose to the other person as we are maybe putting in a little bit of our pixie dust of hello into it. And so this can be a fun way of connecting with somebody spiritually. And you may get a positive response from the person. You may get like a sort of like they're excited. You may actually get a hand swatting your rose away, which again is useful to know as you're like proceeding in. It's kind of like a caution sign of like, okay, I will proceed with caution with you. So we're gonna play with that as our start. So we'll say, I say first, we're gonna kind of move into groups. But yeah, okay, anyhow, I don't know why, maybe it's the heat. Usually I'm a little bit sharper, but thank you for bearing with me. So I'm gonna imagine a rose, and I'm gonna put a little bit of hello in it, and I'm gonna imagine that Lewis has a hand that's kind of right above here that's going to grab the rose, and he is gonna receive a hi from that. How's that sound? So now I'm just gonna do it one more time. In my mind's eye, I'm imagining a rose. It's going over to Lewis, and then I'm watching his hand receive it or do whatever it wants with it. He may notice something, he may not. Oftentimes when people play this game, they start changing the colors of the roses. They might send other things than just the rose itself, but it can be a unique thing to do. And we could even do it to like a whole group. So I could send to the entire room if I want it, but that might be a bit of a stretch. So now I'd invite you, would you like to pass a hello rose to me?
Yes.
Okay. And it was sent. Thank you very much. Cool.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So you may notice something, you may not. This is the first of many exercises we're going to do tonight. So first you're going to say your name. So hi, my name is Chris. Then, no, I'm not going to say my name first. First, I'm going to do a hello rose to somebody in the group. Or you can choose to send it to everyone, and intention is enough to say, I just want this to go to everyone. So imagine a rose in front of you, or multiple roses in this case, and they just move out to who they're going to go. And then you say, hi, my name is, and then you'll say your name. I'll say, hey, my name is Chris. And then what I thought would be interesting to do tonight, because telepathy is on the mind, and really we are just kind of giant antennas, and there's all these thoughts circulating. The thoughts that we're picking up aren't always our own. It'd be interesting if we shared the first appropriate thought that popped in our head as we're sharing, because it might be interesting if anybody else in the group also had a similar thought. That's the wild intention or curiosity behind me suggesting that is, what if somebody else in the group also happened to have the same thought, and they said, aha, I have the same thought. So what's the first thought popping up for some? Hello, my name is Chris. Or Rose, hello, my name is Chris. And then first thought. It is a little bit warm tonight. And then also I did have like a hound dog, shaggy dog pop in my head simultaneously. So I guess I had the thought of it's warm and then hound dog. So maybe that resonated with somebody in the room, maybe it didn't, but it could be a fun thing to experiment with. So let's break up into groups of like, I don't know, 6 to 8-ish. So I see kind of a group here, maybe a group here, maybe the group. You all can kind of self-sort. And we'll give it about 10-ish minutes. I thank you for playing and for dealing with a stretch right off the bat, and then we'll come back together. I'll walk around and you can see if you have questions about this.
It's just healing.
Oh, yes, I'm okay with that. I didn't see Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. I forgot that I ordered it.
All right, and coming back together, I am curious just by like kind of hands, who did notice that somebody in the group had a similar or related thought to what they had, or was this whole thing wild and crazy? Did anybody notice that somebody else in the group sharing what they were thinking, they had something on their mind? Yeah? Ish? Just ish? Okay, cool. All right. Ish. For who enjoyed the Hello Rose thing? We've done it in a more organized fashion before. This was kind of just like throwing you in. How was that? Was that interesting? Did anyone notice anything when they were passing the rose?
I did.
You did? Okay,
Yes,
cool.
Passed it to Roy, and it was almost immediate.
You could tell that he received it almost immediate? Okay, got
It was
it.
almost like,
Sweet. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I could feel the energy and that it was yellow.
You noticed the energy and you noticed that it was yellow, the rose you were receiving. Interesting. And was this from Roy? Interesting. Cool. And his shirt's yellow, but did you,
he said he-
and you intended it was a yellow rose too? Cool. Wow. So it can be fun. Again, like all of this, let it be an exercise in beginning to just have more awareness, right? So there's no right or wrong. In my psychic school, though, the Hello Rose is one of the early things we do. It's quite fun. And anyhow, okay, so we're gonna dip into a quick meditation to kind of set the scene, hopefully clear ourselves out a little bit more, to be more receptive and perceptive for a couple of the games that we're gonna play tonight. I have 5 here. We'll see how many we do. We may end up only doing 4 of them, but we'll see. And it's all gonna go well. It's all gonna go exactly how it's meant to be. So we'll just do a quick meditation where we set a grounding cord. If you're not familiar with this, a lot of mystics of different traditions have this idea that when we connect in with the earth, the gravity can work on our behalf to pull from our space the energies that aren't ours to hold on to. When we're going about our day, we pick up other people's opinions, thoughts, projections, all this stuff. And for the sensitives, they often kind of are like a sponge, just absorb it, then don't know what to do with it. Well, you can wring it out, and an easy way to wring it out is to imagine that you're up here, the center of the earth down here, there's like a energetic cord that when it's set, all that stuff that's in your space that isn't yours to hold on to, it can just move down and it can get transmuted. So you no longer have to hold it on. This, with a few other things, but primarily this is what led me to no longer need anxiety medication. So I found it pretty helpful. Again, consult your doctor before getting off anxiety medication. So, but the way that I've found helpful to do this is you can begin to usually close your eyes or find another way to relax. We'll just go into meditation for about 10-ish minutes. I'll also, we'll do some things with playing with perception and noticing how we receive information. But first we'll clear out. So you can notice what makes you all a little bit more relaxed. Oftentimes this will be allowing the breath to move a little bit more deeply and the belly to move in and out more gradually. Now, when there is surrounding or other noises in the atmosphere, we can notice that they're not really us and actually use those as an invitation to return to center. And then once we're in center, to release anything that's in our field and just even allow those noises to move through us and then through the grounding cord we're about to set. So I would invite you to tune into the base of your spine, what we would call your root. And in the base of your spine, you can imagine that there's a ball of energy there, a ball of light. And that ball of light, however big it is right now, it can begin to expand outwards in all directions. First, it reaches about the width of the hips. And then it continues to expand outwards till it reaches the width of your fingertips, till it's about an arm's width in all directions for you. So now you're sitting in this hollow, energetic sphere of light that represents your space, that represents your energy. And then that bottom half of this hollow energetic sphere of light that you're sitting in right now, it can stretch downwards. It can move down through the floor, down through the earth, down through those different layers, till this hollow energetic tube, this hollow energetic cord and column of light connects in with the center of the earth. So here you are sitting up here, and however you're sitting, and you have a direct connection through this grounding cord all the way to the center of the earth. Gravity working on your behalf can pull from your space all those energies that are not yours. Anything in the surrounding area can also just move through you and down the grounding cord as well. Allow distractions to ground you in more. For those who want to have a little bit of fun, you can imagine a hello rose in front of you and drop it down the grounding cord. See if the center of the earth, if Mother Earth has a way of saying hello back to you. I wouldn't be surprised if you notice some earth energy moving upwards, helping your system in whatever way it needs to. And then let's play with our awareness right now. So first we could play with sound. What happens if you were to expand your audio channels, your auditory, to as far as you possibly could in all directions? How far out can you expand? What's the sound furthest away that you can hear? And then moving, or well, what do you notice out there? Can you notice a car on the road? Can you notice a bird chirping? Can you notice feet on stairs? Now moving your attention the other way, what's the sound closest to you that you notice? Even closer than the different beeps and buzzes. Can you notice your heartbeat? Your hair move? Shifting modalities. Extend the kinesthetic sense, that felt sense. How far can you expand that? And what do you notice at the edge of your perception? Can you feel the walls? Can you feel something else? And then moving that awareness to the closest to you. What's the closest thing that you can feel, whether it's on the internal or the external? And then when we move into visual, again, this is going to be a little bit of a stretch with the eyes closed, but were you to activate the periphery, how far can your peripheral vision take in information right now? Even with the eyes closed, they can still sense energetically something. What's that like for you? And then bringing the attention as close to the body as possible, even within. Perhaps even into the pineal gland area, that center of head, between the ears and behind the eyes. What do you take when you tune into this way of seeing, this way of receiving information? It's amazing how useful curiosity can be in all of this. And then all the stuff that you've been doing, all the things you're taking in, imagine that all those perceptions now can just also move down the grounding cord. Again, just becoming that clear vessel. And along with all these perceptions, anything that's blocking you right now, anything that's clogging, we do have energetic channels for telepathy, among our other abilities. Maybe some of that can begin to move down in its own way, down the grounding cord as well. For me, it's like this sludge that kind of moves from the ears down along the cheekbones to about the nostrils. And I just imagine that there's this clearing that happens where that passageway becomes more open. And then in the throat area, that becomes more open. And then to bring this piece to completion right now, every time we clear out, it's useful to call more of us back in. So you can imagine a golden sun above your head. And you can write your name in black magnetic ink, claiming it as yours. And your energy can move across time, across space, across lifetimes, back to you in the present moment. In a special way, any energy that would be useful for you with developing your intuition, developing your telepathy, developing your ability to receive, perceive information can be called back to you. And then that golden sun can crack open over your head, just kind of like an egg cracks. And inside is this golden honey-like substance that represents your energy. And it can pour down over your head, making contact with the crown. It might find its own way, but use my words as guidance if it's helpful. And then moving down the front and back of the head, down the neck channel, down the shoulders and arms. Some of it moves out the palms. Again, this is resetting and updating you energetically to be even more you, more empowered within this lifetime. That energy can continue to move down the front and back of the torso, down the sides, down the hips and the waist, down the leg channels, and some of it moves out the feet. That cracked golden sun can set through your space. And it feels like it'd be helpful for us to connect in with Source just for a moment to get topped off. Thanks for those who are stretching their imagination muscles right now. You can imagine, visualize, intend, know that there is a white gold line just above your head. Connects to this outer sphere that is your energy body, and it connects up to creator of all that is, source, the quantum, whatever you might call it. Some call it God. Many are charged by that word. And it can send down through this cord, through this white golden line, whatever next steps you need right now that can really enhance both this evening for you and then whatever can be enhanced in your life as a whole. It's a two-way connection, so it might also pull out of your space things that are ready to be cleared, ready to be done, that are complete for you for now. That energy might move through your entire energetic system. It might move through your body. It might find a specific place that it really wants to center on and focus in. And then that connection to Source, to God, Creator. I think some people have called it Hal or God. All right, and coming back together to get a little bit more on the telepathic side. Okay, for also y'all, like, really good job. It seems like there's a lot of positive feedback, a lot of ease of kind of understanding the other. This is atypical in terms of, and I think it's because we're all already like tuning in, connecting, all that. So it's like, people do not this quickly get insights and relate in everyday life. So it's really exciting to see like how fast you can pick something up and then, you know, get to connect with each other. So I'm really glad we're here and playing. Who was that for? Who's done something like this before? Maybe they didn't know that's what they were doing, but who's done something like this before in just general life? Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, well, I wouldn't be surprised if there's people who are already skilled in something like this, of tapping in or tuning into another. And then the first time that I played with this too, after that night one of neurolinguistic programming class, and my teacher, Katie, she and I are very good friends. She's gonna do something for this group in a few weeks out. We're planning that. That'll be really exciting. But the first night, I was a dating coach at the time. I would take guys out to bars. Not the way I would recommend people actually meet. It's not I mean, again, there's a season for everything. But I didn't actually enjoy being there. But again, I had these guys, and they didn't enjoy being there. But I was like, but I think this is how we do it. And so to kind of keep myself entertained that night, I was looking at I wasn't having a good time, but I was like, who's having a good time? And there was this guy who was swinging around. There was like a pole at this bar, and he was swinging around with his hand on the pole in one arm, a can of beer in the other, and he was just in this great mode. So for a moment, I stepped into what would life be like as him. I saw through his eyes, noticed all the people who were looking up at him. I took on his state, his sort of inebriated but happy state, and I was like, oh, and it did put me in a better mood. Now about 30 seconds after I did that, he walked down off the little platform he was on. He points right at me and says, "You, I don't know who you are, but I like you." So there's something interesting when we play with this stuff. So go out and experiment.
Yes, he did actually.
I did not experience a hangover the next day. So okay, so we're moving on to exercise 3, and this is the first one that gets a little bit more on the telepathic side. It also gets into, there's this phenomenon of the group effect, you know, from whether it's the cultural effect of mass media and what trends we're supposed to be into, when the people we associate with and how our values shape us. And one kind of way of playing with this is we could pair up. We're going to pair up in like a group of maybe like 3 or 4. And one person will be standing there with their eyes closed, or certainly with their back to the other 3. And the other 3 are going to choose one direction to lean. They're either going to all lean left or all lean right. And then they're also going to, in their mind's eye, imagine the other person leaning the same way that they are. And we're going to just see if the person receiving can, just by being relaxed, maybe they might even naturally start leaning that way, or will they be able to even sort of sense energetically which way feels more in flow and which way feels like they're resisting something. So in this case, move towards the flow of the way the other people are leaning. Is there anyone do we have like 2 people who want to be demos here? Or I think we should have demos. I can turn off the thing if they don't want to be recorded, but it would be helpful. Okay, cool. Roy, and is it okay if it's on film?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, sweet. And does anybody else want to be a demo? It'd be useful to have 2 people. Okay, Jacob, cool. Thank you very much. So Jacob, why don't we have you stand here, close your eyes, and let's have you stare that way, because we're going to be behind you. And we don't have a lot of space here, but that's okay. Why don't we stand right here just so we have a little bit more space? Okay. We're kind of in. And you stand right there. Okay, and you and I are going to agree on which direction we're going to lean. You're not going to look at us, so you're just you're gonna have your eyes closed, and let's lean this way, and then we're going to kind of even tune in. I'm going to imagine him leaning in that direction, and again, this is an exercise in perception. Whatever he notices, maybe his body will kind of inform him. I think I should go this way. So Jacob, we are leaning a certain way. You can tune in and notice. Let's just have, let's. It's not quite okay, we'll reset. And we'll do it one more time. Again, we're keeping it simple at first. We've also played with sending a person like a yes or a no, and then they kind of tune into that. But for now, we're going to play with right or left. We could even think the word if we want to. So we'll do this direction. And we'll see. So just tune in for yourself. And we're also going to visualize. One thing that I find fun is to imagine there's almost like a fishing line that connects my crown to theirs, where I'm also just intending in that way of which way they get to lean. What are you noticing, Jacob?
I just feel a slight. I was tapping into you with my hands and feeling your energy. How was I?
Which way felt? Did it feel like left for you, or did it feel?
I felt a slight pull.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't know if I was right or wrong.
Cool. So he felt a slight pull. Now, in groups, you can even practice again, and we could say, okay, well, we're going to try one more time in a different way. We could even cue you if we wanted to and say, okay, we're going to go right now. So why don't we just go right for a second? Mm-hmm. And so this way you can actually even feel what right feels like for you. Again, it's less important that you develop the sense of whether to lean left or right than that you begin developing just the acuity of how does your body receive information? How does your field receive information? And Jacob, did you get a sense of what right feels like?
I couldn't tell.
Okay, all good, cool. Well, thank you for being There's a lot going on. There's a lot of attention. There's a lot of everything. So again, this is highly experimental. The last time we did this, it worked. Again, there was 4 of us, and we were in a contained space that didn't have 40 people staring, you know. So, so anyhow, thanks for playing. But does the exercise make sense? Yes. Okay. So, and then you'll rotate, and different people will get to be receiving. Sound good? All right. Cool. So this will be a little bit of a longer exercise. We probably won't get to the 4th one, but we'll see how you all do, because you all are pretty damn quick too. So we'll just see where we go, okay? Cool, all right. Go forth, find the same people or different people. I'd recommend groups of either 3 or 4. Cool? So wrap up with whoever you're with right now. It seemed like for some it was very smooth, and then, of course, we're all learning how we receive information. So I've got one more thing that I think would be fun to wrap up on. How was this for you all? Who had a good experience with this? Okay. Okay, I guess it's still fun. I was just really curious how it would go in a group where we could like experiment and explore this. Now we're not number 4 would be a stretch version of number 3 in that you could choose different poses and have people tuning into that. Now, when I was like intuiting this, because this is the way that I actually move energy, when I was in one of the many psychic classes programs I went to, the first thing he said is if you can sense energy, which we're doing even by deciding left or right, it means you can move energy. So what I thought would be fun, we won't have time to do it today, it is a stretch, but there's going to be a way we'll come back to this at another time, is once you can tune in to what the energy is of the group, especially if it's not just a lean, especially if it's a different position, then what that means is you're now connected in with the field. And these are people, so it's a little bit different because everyone has free will and is on kind of their own timeline and lifeline and universe and things like that. But it also means that once you're connected in with them, were you to move as the person being kind of observed, now they have the option to tune in and perhaps they move as a result. So a little bit of a stretch, we'll play with it another time, but that's where I thought things could go. And that the beauty of that is it moves into how you set your own reality as you start noticing how reality flows for you. So if all you notice is, okay, I did notice when I leaned this way, that's how everybody else was leaning, that can be a hint for maybe the right path to take in life of should I go with this decision or this? And so I use that in my everyday life of which one works for me. I can also use that if I tune into an event, a place, a space ahead of time. If I get the sense it's not quite the energy I want, I can oftentimes reset the energy. I can use a grounding cord on the space, clear that. I can call back in more of the space's energy. I can begin to tune in how I would like the space to show up for me. I can't always do it if it's somebody else's space, but if I'm meant to be there in some way, especially if it's more of an open area, then there's a lot of energetic moving we can do to really make reality work for us. Anyhow, bit of a stretch explanation, but it's fun. And that's also in the book that's getting finished up, which might have pictures like this because apparently the amount of time I can be on a computer is extremely limited. So, okay, we're gonna play with one more thing, and this is gonna be a way of using visualization to attempt to communicate with somebody. We're just gonna all do it. I've got about 4 or 5 random objects that I would invite somebody up to the front where they can just close their eyes and I'll show the object for everybody. And then we'll all just connect in with the person and see if we can transmit to them the object so that they can guess what it is. So does it make sense what I'm talking about? I've got a bunch of objects under here. Yep. Would anybody like to be receiver while everybody else tries sending them information? You may get the object, you may get details or bits and pieces about the object, you may get a feel for how the object works in everyday life. They're very specific, interesting, unique objects. Do we have anyone who wants to be a brave volunteer? It is kind of a goofy exercise, but it is fun.
I'll go.
Okay, cool. You didn't see what's under the table yet, did you? Nope, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Okay, so can you just, are you comfortable sitting there? Or you could stand. What would be easier for you? Okay, cool. Okay, I'm gonna pull something up, and what we're gonna do as a group is we're gonna just take a moment to tune into Roy. Again, what I find helpful is to imagine that I have almost like a fishing line that connects my crown to his crown, to the top of his head. And then I'm just gonna kind of think about whatever the object is. You might even imagine him wearing the object if it's something to be worn or how he might use it. You might imagine the words that the object is, see if that's how it pops in for his head. And with so many different people in the room, it could be interesting. Either it's going to be very helpful, or he's just going to get such a mishmash of things that it could be confusing. So eyes are closed. Okay, got it. I'll hold this one. I'll hold this up first, and we'll play with this. We'll just do a couple different objects and see. So hopefully this is pretty clear for everybody in the room. And so you can do eyes open or closed, just connecting in with him. And again, this is the object. And Roy, whenever you notice anything, you can let us know.
feel like I'm flying, so it feels like I don't like I'm a bird or like I see ground like from above. So something about like flying or airplane, bird, height, looking down, like seeing like the distance.
Okay, if I put it on the ground, it isn't. It is in the air right now, so perhaps that's why you're seeing it that way. I'm going to put it on the ground, and we'll see if you get a different sense.
I see like sharp edges,
Okay.
kind of like dense.
Hmm.
Dark brown, brownish, bronze color.
Okay. And we might switch to another object, just maybe you can get a few senses, and then we'll see if you get any heads. Okay, so I'll bring up the next one. So this one has a very distinct color to it, too. Actually, the other one did, too.
I feel like warm color, like orange, red, yellow, or a mix of all of these. That's what I'm seeing, like warm color.
Okay.
Am I right now?
It is orange.
Okay.
If it were to be worn on a place in the body, where would it be worn?
I see an image of a clown, so maybe like a orange nose.
Hmm. Directionally, you're in the right part of you're in kind of the right region of the body. Let's see, what could I instruct us to think about? So why don't we think about where this would be used? Where this would be used, and see if you get any hint on where it would be used. The function of it.
It says like movement, so does it have to do anything like with walking? So like feet?
So this does have to do with movement, and the first thing had a lot to do with movement and feet. So we're going to bring one more object with to finish this out. I don't know, is this one too complicated, or is this too complicated? Okay, we'll do this I don't know if this is this less complicated? Okay, we're going to try this. So we're going to give you one more. And this is not something somebody would wear. Or if they wore it, it would be like a Halloween costume of some kind.
So, okay. So that's something you would wear.
This is not something you would wear.
Oh.
You would not.
Well, I kind of sense like either like a book or like a really thin like notebook or something.
Okay. Do you get a sense of what material it is? If it were wood, if it were metal, if it were paper, well, I guess paper is kind of a kind of wood. If it were leather, if it were whatever other kind of materials exist in the world. Polyvinyl fluoride.
Yeah, I don't know why like these books keep coming back. So I don't necessarily see like if it's leather, but like definitely like on a like a hardcover.
Okay.
But like it's definitely not metal. It's definitely on a something that you could bend a little bit if you wanted to.
Cool. Okay, gotcha. So you can open your eyes now. I'll show you the objects. So So you were doing this. There was a lot of people
Yeah.
nodding about that. So
Okay.
yeah. And this was the thing that everybody said we should not do. So this is a boogie board. They thought it was confusing. This was the second object, the orange object.
Yeah.
And then so it's a life jacket. I was curious if we could send water your way or something
The
like
color
that.
definitely, like I could say, like
Mhm.
it was really warm color. So yeah.
And then this was the first object. And I wasn't sure if you got confused because it was up here when you thought of flying and all that. But you can see it's sharp.
I saw like movement. That's what I said. Like it's feet. So it's something to do like it feet.
Cool. And then you said brown. There is brown inside, and then black
Yeah.
is pretty darn close to brown. So cool. So for us just experimenting with this right now, like quite a bit of fun. Thanks a lot. How was it for you?
That's what I said. Like I saw a clown shoe definitely. As I said, like this movement, like I wasn't sure that, like what it was. I could, but yeah,
And you said clown. You said nose, which pretty darn close to the neck, which is where it would typically be. But so
yeah.
So I mean, give yourself again the biggest thing when we're awakening our abilities more and more, which you have a lot of road time in this, is to really give ourselves credit for the things that are working and to recognize all of this is a continuing learning experience. We're just grabbing
close.
data. You did great. Yeah. Thanks for playing. So cool. Sweet. So thanks for playing tonight. I hope that this was useful for you all and you can find something that you can take away from this. We'll do a quick karmic clearing. So wait, and then this will happen again next week. Next week we're going to do there's going to be a Palo Santo ceremony. And we're going to get to Palo Santo each other, and Kevin's going to be sharing how do we complete cycles of things that are no longer ready for our life, and we'll do some exercises around that. He and I got pretty into details about toxic relationships and succubus and all this stuff. We're not going to do all that in the Monday Mindful Monday, but we're going to do some cool stuff related to clearing toxic patterns. So that's going to be kind of the theme for next week, in addition to protection with Palo Santo. So let's end the evening just by clearing karma. Again, the simplest way I've been into it to do it is, first off, give yourself some darn credit for tonight. Thank you for playing. Thank you for allowing that intuitive child to come out. And then, all the announcements that I said before, just remember them. And but there will be an email about the Seeker's Paradise happening soon. It's going to be really cool. And then what was I going to say? Oh yeah, and then so let's clear karma real quick before, again, we do need to be out of here at 9 p.m., but there's other places within the village you can go, especially downstairs to Third Eye Cacao. And thank you so much for coming. So to clear karma, let's just imagine the words karma in kind of like, or the word karma as block letters just in front of us, representing the different energies that have been like swirling and moving around tonight. One thing that in my psychic school, whenever we're around people, a lot of stuff gets pulled out of our aura, the matching vibrations and frequencies, and we can clear it. It's ready to be cleared. And one way we can do that is imagine a bouquet of roses, calling all that energy that's ready to be cleared, and they pull it in, and then they fly far, far away and disappear back into source. And then those words, karma, that word karma, just notice it in front of you in block letters and allow it to begin to fade away. It either fades away, it might kind of crumble like old stone does and just turn to dust or turn back to source. Source might come down with source-like hands and suck it back up to source, and it gets taken care of that way. But that way we get to leave clean and clear. And if it's of use to you, again, just tuning back into that grounding cord. Remember, that's still attached. Anything can always move down it to help clear you out. And you can invite in a golden sun above your head one more time, cracking that open, filling you back in, even with more of your energy for this lifetime. That cracked golden sun can set down through your space. And then again, just give yourself some credit and some love and gratitude and appreciation for coming out tonight. Thanks so much, and I hope that you make some new connections, new friends, and all that good stuff. So bye for now, y'all.
Thank you.